Our top story tonight, the Rio Blanco County Sheriff's Office says 2 people are dead after a cabin caught fire over in Meeker. This happened around 8 p.m. Saturday night off of County Road 14. And a disturbing and sad story out of Montrose this last week. Police say a Montrose couple is dead after being murdered by their own son. Skiers up at Powderhorn raced down the mountain to raise money for the environment today. The idea was to see how many laps you could get in going down the Cannonball Trail. The Grand Junction Police Department is on scene of a business near 16th Street and North Avenue investigating a possible explosion. The department says the business has been evacuated. We've been watching other resorts open over the past month, and frankly, we've been kind of jealous. But our day is finally here. Powderhorn opened for business, and boy, they were packed. KKCO 11 News reporter Augusta McCain. Today marks the anniversary of the death of Deputy Derek Gear, who died in the line of duty back in 2016. A man has pleaded guilty in a 40-year-old murder case in Douglas County. On Friday morning, James Clanton pleaded guilty in the murder of Helene Brzezinski. Well, Brad, I'm thinking about going to the store and buying one of those inflatable kiddie pools to sit in because it's been so hot.
Might not be a bad idea.
Okay, yeah. I was about to ask.
I would go for one myself.
Okay. Some of those softball scores looking like football scores, though.
Yeah.
I mean, my goodness. Talk about the offense.
They are talented.
Butch, did I hear you right that my freezer might be warmer than it's going to be out tomorrow?
Oh, yeah, you'll have to open your freezer door just to warm
let
your
the heat waft in.
Yeah, sounds like they got some work ahead of them at least. Okay.
Yeah.
Both Pirates went down with the shift. That is just good. That is just good writing right there. All right. Thanks so much, Paulina. We'll be right back after this. My heart really goes out to everyone who drafted him on their fantasy teams. Not exactly the plan I'm sure those people had. Monster City Studios gave a boy named Jaden his very own Batmobile wheelchair at this year's Comic-Con in San Diego. And I don't know, if I'm a villain in Gotham, might be a little worried to see that guy rolling around, you know? Well, Nikki, I looked outside earlier and I swear I saw rain coming from the sky. Was that true? Did I actually see that?
Yes, you finally did see some rain coming our way.
Castle has a basketball court, a slide, and that slide ends in a ball pit. You know, I don't even think I need anything else for my birthday. I just want that. I think that's it. That's all I need.
Good, I'll order it.
Yeah, see you at 10. A terrifying situation on this stretch of Highway 50 this summer. A driver seemingly coming out of nowhere and shooting at other vehicles. Now that suspect faces a court date this week. Police tell me that the Uber driver bailed out of her vehicle somewhere in this area behind me after the suspect pulled out a gun. And I talked to a man today who says that driver ended up on his front porch that same night. Well, Gene and Bernie, I'm here at Montrose PD, and if 2A passes, it would mean more funding for police officers. It would also mean a new $16 million facility for law enforcement. This man's name is William Shuttleworth, and he's a 71-year-old veteran walking across the country to help other vets. And while that might sound pretty tough, he says it's worth every step of the way. This parking lot was full of law enforcement earlier today after calls came in about a man possibly armed with a gun and knives inside the facility. I'm here on Lois Street where those two were found dead, and this was actually a pretty active scene until recently. The crime scene unit actually just drove off, but all we know about these men is that one was 30 and the other was 47, and that's not news that neighbors like to hear. And I think a lot of people out here in Orchard Mesa were looking for answers this morning, but the question still remains, what's going to happen to this pool here behind me? Officials say it's going to take a team effort to keep it open. Yeah, Gene and Bernie, a lot of law enforcement activity in this area last night. Police say the suspect shot 2 people at this truck stop here behind me, but only one of them survived. Yeah, Matt, scouts were here on Friday selling Christmas trees when they realized some of their credit card sales weren't being processed. They estimate they gave away over a dozen trees and took a $1,600 hit. Grace, I'm glad to hear you guys are warm inside the studio because out here it's about 27 degrees. We've been out here a couple minutes now out in front of Walmart. They opened about 6 o'clock yesterday on Thanksgiving, and they'll be running Black Friday deals throughout the rest of the evening today. Gene, we were actually at this spot this summer when the trail first closed down, and as you can see, part of the sidewalk has actually fallen into the Colorado River. Now there's still some details that need to be worked out, but the city of Grand Junction says a solution is coming. Can I do that?
You can.
All right, fine. I'll give it a shot.
All right. All right. Here he goes. Yeah.
Security video shows the moment a home explodes into flames in Mac.
30 in the morning, I was in the living room drinking coffee. I heard this loud explosion.
Benny Wilson lives nearby. He and his sons ran to see what happened.
It's exploded. I mean, where we entered, there was no wall. But I went into the kitchen.
When they got there,
I heard this lady yell that there's people inside that house.
They bolted into action.
We found an elderly lady in the kitchen, laid under a bunch of rubble.
Running into the burning house.
Flames, smoke all around me. And yeah, it was kind of nerve-wracking to watch my 2 sons run into them flames.
I was the first one in there. The initial explosion happened in the kitchen, but I had to go in past the living room and into the hallway.
After Brian and his dad helped the woman on the floor, he went looking for others.
And I asked her, I said, is there anybody else in the house? And all she said was, Leroy.
Risking his own life
He took one step and kind of fell into my arms.
to help someone else.
I went back inside to help my father pull the lady out of the house.
And with hardly any time to spare,
I did see the flames around me. I did see the roof caving in.
2 people's lives were saved.
When I found him, the only thought that ran through my head then was either I'm going to get you out of here or we're both going to go up. Because I wasn't going to leave this man alone by himself in there.
What did you do?
Hawaii native Kahale Reese suffered a stroke in 2014.
Yeah.
But that didn't stop him from keeping his sense of humor.
One hand, but
It also didn't stop him from putting his other arm to good use.
He got out in his shed and decided that he was going to start building things.
At first, he started small,
The first thing I think he built was this little tiny stool.
but then he went bigger.
After that, I think he made a little bench.
The Reeses keep positive attitudes, but the stroke blindsided the whole family.
My husband got up and decided to go water the flowers just to move around a little bit.
One of the couple's daughters knew something was wrong.
She came inside about 5 minutes later and said, "Hey, something's wrong with Dad, he's not responding."
The stroke took a big part of his brain.
He had to relearn everything he's learned to this point.
He used to be right-handed and now uses his left. Building some pretty top-notch furniture, which the Reeses sell online.
It also helps us to afford things for our kids that we might not otherwise get to afford.
But even though the stroke changed his body,
It didn't alter his ability to be a great husband.
the real Kahale is still all there.
It didn't alter his ability to be a father. And really, that's the most important thing.
In Fruita, I'm Jason Berger, KKCO 11 News.